Yo, what's up, homie?
What's up? How's your
You all
week?
right?
Good.
It's been good. It's been good. We started 2021 off right. I keep wanting to say 2020, but we're starting off
Good
2021
habits.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been writing on the paperwork as well, 2021, or 2020.
Mhm.
You've been killing those streams, man. How's those been going?
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of new mods that are out, so that's obviously fun for content to put out. The new Bo-Katan mod should be here tomorrow, possibly. It's a brand new one that's coming out, replacing her. I don't know who it replaces yet. I spoke to the modder. It'll probably replace Leia, but it's the new Mandalorian Bo-Katan one, so that one's really nice. There's been a bunch of new ones, new map mods, Snowy Kashyyyk. They're still working on the Dark Trooper one, Moff Gideon. So there's a bunch in the works right now. So that's really cool. And obviously with Battlefront 2, next week it'll be free on the Epic Games Store. So that will be
that's definitely a main talking point. Like we can only do so much. Everybody, clear that space on the hard drive and get this game downloaded, because all you gotta do is have it downloaded. Then if you want to delete it and then go back to it, it'll be yours forever.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
That should bring a lot of, because even I know you experienced this when after Christmas, right around New Year's, I had a lot of people come in the streams like, "Hey, I'm new to the game. Do you have lightsaber hero recommendations, or how do you do this, or
who are your favorite heroes?" Yeah, and then you just show your maxed up item.
They'd be like, "I need to show you something," and bring it up.
Just like the simulations. How's your road to max going for Kylo? And you're doing Revan and HK.
Yeah, I'm doing Revan and HK. They're both HK's at 98 and Revan's at 106. So I'm kind of, I wanted, all right, I'll tell you my grand plan. I want to do it on the same day. I want to get
that would be sick.
I want to get a max Revan, and then literally the very next game, max HK 47.
Our good friend got in the same game, in the same GA game, he got a max assault and max specialist in the same game. So that would be really cool if you could get it. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I never even thought about that. That would be really, really cool.
That's the goal. So I know HK won't be a problem, but man, Revan with the maps and everything, man, it can get
stressful.
It'll get time.
Yeah, but I won't lie. If you grind out a lot of HPV, surprisingly, it'll go fast. I played probably 5 co-op games total with Vader, and he's already 421 without even really grinding at all for it. So I do use him every other game, but you know what I mean. So and you use you use Iden and Kylo every game, so you'll be more than
that's what I've been doing. Yeah. I always use Kylo up until my team starts losing, and then I pull out my level 98 max character HK. Start changing the game at that point.
Yeah. Well, we extended to May the 4th, so it's a lot of time. So you definitely have more than time in the world to do it, and doing it on stream, especially if you get in the same game, that would be really special. I'll obviously be there. I probably want to join you for that game as well, because now that you're on PC, we finally got our games together. Our first game, literally our first game together, we got a 35-0. First time you and I ever played together, we have a 35-0 on PC.
So many people, and I don't know if it's just because they like the mods or they think that's the way it's going, but even Kylo Marks has a PC now. So I know PCs are expensive, guys, but if you can swing it, that's where it's at, man, because it's so easy to get people. Because on Xbox you got to bring up the dashboard and do all that nonsense. The friends list and everything normally works on Origin for me, and it's so convenient, man. We're just getting into these games. I played with Watat, the Soviet, and then I played with you. I played with Chronic already. I played with Boba, so hopefully by the end of the week I can play with Kylo Marks. So that'd be really
we played last night. We basically had custom 4v4s running because Boba was on the other team, and I saw Kylo and Salman were by themselves, so I was like, okay, let me just join them. And then we ended up just getting basically custom 4v4s, last night, randomly. It was really fun. But I will say, the thing is about PCs, it is an investment, but it is worth every single penny. I mean, the matchmaking, if you're Battlefront 2, strictly Battlefront 2, the matchmaking goes faster. If you want to set those custom matches, because there's no custom lobbies, it goes way faster with that as well, entering and exiting lobbies. The FPS, of course, the field of view, which is one of the most satisfying things.
That was really an eye-opener for me. And I didn't think I would be that too keen on it, but I went back to play Xbox the other day, and it was almost like hurting my eyes. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
to the frames and everything.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. You can look at the screen longer.
Yeah, I feel ridiculous sometimes. Like okay, well, like when I do enjoy playing consoles sometimes because like we could all play together, but like it's like a total different. And then when you go back to PC, it's like playing on a field of view of 55 is unheard of on PC usually. Usually you and I mean, I know you play on a lot. I usually always play 74 plus. So it's really satisfying. Then of course the mods is like having new content, and they are constant. They added, I think, like last night, I think they added like 5 new mods. No, they're not like big mods or anything like that. They're nothing crazy, but like they do constantly add them all the time, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful what they're doing for this game.
And set up in Discord, it's like every day there's something new, and I'm always excited.
Oh yeah, because we get all the alerts, and it's really cool because like not only with the mods, but now you talk about like, okay, you're getting this brand new, you're getting the celebration edition, which is all the skins unlocked in the game, which is like a $40 value for free for the course over an entire week. Not only is the player base going to be growing a lot, I do have a theory, and this is something that I've been thinking about lately, and a good friend of mine, Benzen, brought it up to my attention, and we've been speaking about this a lot together. I believe, and he believes, and we spoke about this together, that I really think, and this is like a stretch, but what if the reasoning for this, and again, you got to be careful with like theories and rumors and stuff like that, especially in Star Wars. But what if the reason why Epic Games is putting this on their store, or placing this on their stores for a week straight, is because maybe they see the potential within this game. Maybe they want to buy this game. Maybe they want to buy it from EA to continue support. It's been done before with other games.
Yeah.
You know, they take the support from EA and they continue to update this game, and we end up getting content because the game over the next week will be growing amazingly.
Right.
Now, I will say this: I'm going to be very cautious when I stream Battlefront 2 to play, because I don't want to ruin the experiences for newer players, because there's going to be a lot of new players. The lobbies will be very, very unbalanced, so I probably won't be playing with the team of 4 all day, just because of reasons like that, and it's kind of sucky.
Just finish the game and then find a new lobby.
Yeah.
So,
but man, is it beautiful for the new player base? Is it beautiful the fact that this game has been out for so long, and there's just so much happening with it? On Twitch, it is such a wholesome, amazing place to be. On the player base, obviously on the player base, it can be toxic sometimes. But hey, I will say though, I do think something will happen. And if Epic Games does take control over this game, which they could, and continue support for it, because the whole EA team dipped out on it. They all ditched the game. They're all going to Battlefield now. No one's really going to be going back to this. But if they did, I think we get the things that we ever wanted: the cross-platform, the custom lobbies, maybe even updates such as characters that we ever wanted. And maybe that could be like our only hope. Rebellions are built on hope. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we'll see. So that would be really cool.
I mean, what we were saying last week, to go back to that too, if you have like a legit team and they have all the technology right in front of them, they could. It's not that difficult to take, like a Rey and then replace her with one of these new characters, just cosmetically real quick, and then you can add her to the game. I think if a legit company got a hold of Battlefront 2, they could have a Mandalorian and a High Republic update within a month if they really put their, really tried hard.
If modders can do it, a multi-million-dollar company
exactly.
Definitely do it. Trust me.
Exactly what I'm.
Trust me. And yes, is there issues with the mod sometimes? Yes. Does the game crash occasionally? All the time. Is there issues sometimes with like the skin ripping off or something occasionally? Yeah. But the fact that like you can literally see a brand new character in front of your face, and these are just modders, just people doing it for fun. They don't receive anything out from it. Yeah, they have Patreons, but they post it on Nexus for free just because of their love for Battlefront 2 and because their love to help everyone.
Right.
They do have a modding Discord that you can enter, and you can see all the projects that they're working on, everything. They communicate every single day. Now, I won't lie, the modding Discord does have a unique humor. It is a funny place, but there is like specific channels where you can see, the amazing things that they're working on. They've taken requests. People ask, they can do commissions, but a lot of it is just because of their love for the game and want to keep it alive. And, I remember on New Year's Day, the modder who brought out the Armorer mod was just like, Happy New Year's. Let's start off to a great year. Here's an amazing mod to start off the year. And they came out with the Armor, which you and I both use. So I see it on your stream every day. It was beautiful. So.
I might have to take the Armorer off because I can't tell when the armor is swinging, so I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh, if it was just Anakin's sabers, it'd be different. It was a very odd choice to use the armor over Annie.
It looks off, but like just the fact alone that you can have it in the game. And it's actually funny because I don't know if I told you this, but Imi, my good friend and our moderator, and I are actually working on I don't know if it's been done yet, but I'm going to work on trying to do my first mod. And I'm going to try and make voice lines for that mod as well as like other characters as well. So he's going to like teach me the ropes in modding, and I want to kind of add like a few mods maybe like within the next few weeks.
It's hard too.
Yeah, but the voice lines aren't as hard compared to like now the actual like skins and stuff like that. I think my like in 3D art, I think my computer would blow up. But like stuff like that, I think it could be done. But yeah, that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome. And then like Boba right now with his mod, you know, it's just the game. So if you did that, I think the community would really enjoy that.
It'd be fun. And again, like I said, it just keeps the game alive. These mods are absolutely beautiful. So I think we have a lot to look forward to in terms of at least from a gaming standpoint. I know we don't know much what's going on right now. We're in a midst where like we don't know what the next game is going to be. The only thing we know is Jedi Fallen Order next year, but
the one thing for that is almost everybody but Call of Duty is in that position right now.
Yeah.
There's really no multiplayer games over the winter except for Call of Duty. Like there's nothing, there's no brand new, there's no new Battlefield, there's no new Halo, there's no new Gears of War. Call of Duty is the last one that we had, so everybody's kind of in that limbo of what to play, and maybe that brings people back to Battlefront because it's already an established game, and the mods are going crazy. So,
do you think a lot of that has to deal with the fact of the pandemic? Do you think a lot of it is? I mean, obviously Halo was delayed because of the game.
Yeah.
But do you believe? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of teams might not be fortunate enough to be able to bring their workstations home because, like you said, you have an outstanding gaming computer, but when it comes to 3D modeling and stuff, it probably just won't be able to render it or do it.
I just don't think I can do it. I just think if I just press two little tabs, my entire set would blow up because I feel like I'm just ridiculous. That's what I thought when I was building the PC. I literally thought it was going to be the second Death Star explosion. I thought, yeah.
Written and directed by George Lucas.
I don't believe in myself when it comes to that. Yeah, exactly. No. But we definitely have a lot to look forward to. So next week will be a lot of fun.
Exactly. So, but we're gonna do a lot of questions today. But one thing I wanted you to talk about is tomorrow. You have a big day tomorrow, correct?
It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. We're actually doing a 12-hour charity stream for Kids for Hunger. And it's really beautiful because all proceeds go towards the kids affected by the coronavirus around the United States, specifically the United States, and provides meals for them, provides food for them. We set up a trailer. There was a trailer given to us from it, and I actually posted on Twitter, and they actually reached out to me and were saying what an amazing thing it is that we're doing. So that was really sweet. It's a really amazing organization.
You're going from 2 p.m. Eastern time to about 2 a.m. So busy tomorrow. There's got to be at least a 5-minute time frame that you can get in there and drop some support. And the link for his channel's down below.
Thank you. It'll be fun.
And congrats on 3,000, man. That's
thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's why we're doing it. And there'll be giveaways all day. Tons of like Black Series. Some I didn't even know about. Like a Phase 2 Grunt Trooper, Ahsoka Rebels, of course. Anakin Attack of the Clones, Black Series, a few Funko Pops, $2 $25 giveaways. So it'll just be a bunch of fun stuff to get back. And obviously, about. You and I are both. We've spoken about this about how fun it is to, give back in terms of giveaways and fun prizes. And the giveaway you just did the other day was crazy, absolutely insane. Yeah, I think it was it this past Monday or last week?
It was Monday. It was Monday because I had back and was able to gift Sergeant Gaming a Mandalorian best card. Well, he got to pick between. So the winner got to pick between a Mandalorian. Din Djarin's Beskar helmet or Boba Fett's repainted helmet. He picked the Beskar helmet. So
cool.
I got that, and he'll have it. I mean, it takes a couple of months because it's on pre-order.
Oh, yeah, it's on pre-order. That's so cool, though. That's so awesome.
It's good that, we're grateful that we're in a position where we can do these type of giveaways for one. But it's really good to see, like Sergeant Gaming, he's a kid. So, he would have to, like, really work and to get something like that. So now that he can just have that, and he deserves it too because he supports everybody. I see him in your streams. I see him in Dubex's stream. I mean, the man's everywhere. So
yeah. You want to talk about the saber? So
the Dark Saber or
the Skywalker Saga?
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So guys, we all, everybody in the chat was probably here for the giveaway that we did a couple weeks ago. We gave away an Anakin or a Skywalker Legacy Saber from Galaxy's Edge. However, it just didn't work out. So the winner has not reached out to us in any way. So we're going to have to do a redraw. We were originally going to do it today. I did tell the Discord that we were going to do it today, but we talked about it this morning. It's only fair if we try to get it out there as much as we can that we're doing the redraw because we want people to be here and claim it in the chat so we don't have this this event happen again. And then we'll do it next Saturday. We'll roll the wheel. The winner claims in the chat. Right after, I'll get your address. I'll box it up. Monday, it's gone. So then we're done. We're done with it. And then somebody gets to have a Galaxy Saber. So we'll do that next Saturday. I know I said for the Revan, it'd be today, but it'll be next Saturday. If you know your name was in the giveaway last time, it's still going to be there. Get in here next Saturday, claim it when you win, and enjoy the prize.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just keep making eye contact with him. I'm sorry. Like I swear he blinked at me like 5 times.
Yeah, he's back there. He's always supporting, man. So let's roll into some questions. The first one, you're busy guys. You haven't read too much of
and by any means though, if anyone has any questions within this chat alone, we can definitely get to it. Oh
yeah. Post questions in the YouTube for sure. Mm-hmm. So Sean Darkly says, if you could talk a bit about your impressions of the High Republic so far, that would be awesome. So I have the audio book, and it's a 13-hour audio book. I'm 6 hours in, and so far, man, it is very, very suspenseful. Like it's almost like edge of the seat, like suspenseful. So I think you would enjoy reading it or listening to it on the audio book because the actor does really well. Mm-hmm. So it does a good job of introducing the Jedi in the time period that they have. Mm-hmm. So it's 200 years before the prequels. And the main Jedi in the book is Avar Kriss. So it's the blonde female that you see in all the artwork. That's the main one. 6 hours in, we haven't gotten any mention of Yoda yet. So I don't know if they're bringing him into other books or what.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. I think that people that have been on the fence about it's really setting up another small universe inside the timeline here, and the ending, whether that may be 2 or 3 years from now, is going to be really good. And
because it's a 3-part series.
Yeah. It has 3 phases, and this is phase 1, and it's introducing all these characters, and man, it's really, I'm telling you, man, you might need to pick up this audio book and just listen.
No. Yeah. Well, see, I'm a hard copy guy. Like I only wanted it in person. So like I'm actually placing an order for it right after the stream. So like late tomorrow night / Monday. But I did want to say something that was really interesting. Like I said, I haven't read it yet. So like I'm going to get into it. But a good friend of mine said, he said this word for word. I'm really curious to see what happened with the Jedi Order. Just look at the High Republic Jedi, fancy golden clothes. And one specific thing that he notices, they don't teach to surpass emotions, rather control them. So he was saying that something had to happen. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the complete opposite of the Jedi we know from the prequels. It is it's a 3-phase project. But within the Jedi Code, it says there's no emotion, there's peace. So what he's believing is that something kind of happened in between, like, because it's like a different kind of viewpoint, you know what I mean? It seems like a different kind of viewpoint. So there is maybe a little bit of plot holes that can be explored. Or how far into it are you?
About 6 hours into the 13-hour.
Oh my god!
And because that's the reason. Like I need to get Star Wars quick click content out. Normally I would read the book, but now I have to switch to audio just so I can get through it faster. I will go back and read it.
You might have to do that in parts though, because a 13-hour thing is just 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like listen it. Like if I go to the gas station, I have it turned on right now. Even if it's like 5 to 10 minutes here, that's like 3 or 4 pages on an audiobook. So, but they're without getting into it, we'll do whenever you start reading it and we get through it. We'll obviously do a whole podcast on make sure there's spoilers and stuff.
I'd love to.
But Emmy and you are hitting the right direction. They really set up about how the Jedi are presented 200 years ago, and then you could kind of tell like, okay, there's gonna be an event that really changes some way of thinking. So
that's
a good thing.
That's exciting. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, wow. So God, you know what's so cool about it? It's like an era that's really not been explored. And I feel like they're gonna really like obviously we don't know of any the Acolyte, but besides that, besides the Acolyte, there's not really a lot like taking place during that era that we're gonna see. Yeah, well, they're gonna stress upon that content a lot.
Yeah.
But that's like such an unexplored era in Star Wars. I actually had a theory that I thought the next 3 saga films were going to be based on the High Republic, which clearly they're not. It's going to be the Rogue Squadron. But man, is it going to be fun? This is so much fun just to explore like new eras.
Well, the one thing that gets me is they have to be very careful too, because there's already established stories. Like Kai says, the Sith have been gone for over a millennia, so they can't just bring in another Sith or another, what would you call it? He could be a rogue Jedi, and that could be your lightsaber villain, or they might not even go that route. We could have 30 books of High Republic, and we never have a lightsaber duel.
Now, okay, there's no Sith that they are currently aware of, but wouldn't Plagueis be around that time?
Correct. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's behind the shadows, simply how it was in the prequels.
Right.
I'm sure it's something tied like that.
Yeah, so you could do something like a Jedi stumbles upon the Sith, and then of course he dies, and he's just missing in action. You never know that he was killed by a Sith.
That's funny that you say that, because that's actually what happened in one of the Maul comics. If you read the Maul comics that I actually read, there was a Jedi that encountered Maul, and Maul had his double-bladed saber, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're a Sith," and Maul basically wanted to let her live, but he simply couldn't, because basically of the simple fact that he revealed himself to the Jedi. Literally, Maul says it in the Phantom Menace, and that was way before Sidious had planned to reveal themselves. And she was like, "Oh no, I won't tell anyone. I'll keep it like a secret." And he was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm not trusting you.
Yeah,
it's
really
not happening. See you around, kid." And that was it, because so that's like kind of something similar. So I'm sure there's something it's something along those lines, and we don't know how. I have to look into it. I don't know how old Plagueis is or Palpatine. I would have to look into specific ages, but the fact alone that he's probably working behind the shadows, and they just don't have enough firepower to do anything about it, to have a galactic war or anything like that. I mean, that's how it was in the prequels. They literally had until they had the Separatist droid army, but besides that, they were working behind the shadows. So that would be really cool. That'd be really cool to see.
I'm digging that concept, man. Because then I would assume you're following these main characters around, and then they stumble upon this bad guy, and then we already know as soon as you turn that page, and you're like, okay, there's a Sith in here.
Yeah.
Your main character's probably not making it out because they know about the Sith. Yeah. So that's a good storyline.
I will say, it is interesting though, because these books are going to put something through your head. It's going to force a lot of creativity, because we don't know how these characters look like. We've never seen these characters. We're not familiar with any of these characters.
Yeah.
A lot of these terms, I'm sure, mentioned in the book, we're not really familiar with. So it'll really explore your creativity on how these characters appear and etc. You can look at concept art and etc., which would help. But what I'm really, really looking forward to is the comics.
Mm-hmm.
When we get more comics of this, because it's going to touch on this era a lot.
And man,
so
I would see the
more visuals. That would be really cool.
Right, and then anybody out there that collects comics, I actually went to the comic book store. Mine gets them every Wednesday, and I went there on Thursday, and they were already sold out of Light of the which is really crazy, because normally I'm not really big on comics, but I go to the comic store and just browse a little bit. There's normally a stack of Darth Vader's. There's normally a stack of Kylo Ren's. There was no Harry Potter. So it's getting popular, and it's good that it has some backing, because like other people are saying, the book is so far is really good, and I'm excited. It's definitely a good time, man.
Yeah, that's how it was for Rise of Kylo Ren. They sold out right away. Like the Rise of Kylo Ren when it came out, and which is amazing, amazing by the way. If you don't know, and it actually ties in. If you haven't read the Rise of Kylo Ren, I definitely recommend you do. It takes place before the Force Awakens. It's basically like Luke's flashbacks of Kylo that you see in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker in a nutshell. When the temple burns and everything, it's literally that like whole portion, and you'll find out. Spoiler warning, you'll find out that it wasn't Kylo who took down the temple. It was literally just like a lightning strike. It just looked like he tore it down. So that actually ties into Mando as well. Like chances are he didn't kill Grogu. He didn't kill Grogu. He didn't slaughter the remaining Jedi. It was nothing like that. It was completely different than what people think.
Yeah, like
so
he's
that's
legit good. He's always good at heart. He's kind of
he
was in.
It was similar. I got really good. I don't know if you read it, but I got similar vibes to see, like, when Anakin sliced off Windu's hand and he looked at him like, what have I done? It's exactly the same. Like, he literally looked at himself like a monster, but he needed to escape. He needed to leave. And he just like Snoke. It was literally how it was explained in the films in The Last Jedi. Snoke had seduced him, and it shows Snoke's seduction for him. It shows the Knights of Ren. It shows who Ren was, like originally Ren. It's so cool. I haven't finished all of it. I only read 2 out of the 4.
I need to start getting these graphic novels.
The third one I did read online, but like again, it kind of itched me. It's like, I don't. I love holding it. Like I love just having. I actually have 2 of them right next to me right here. Amazing comics though, and it's really cool to like explore this outside content outside of the films. And I never really was big on it before, but now I'm like actually starting to get into it and like read more of Legends, and so it's. There's just so much to explore within Star Wars. It's so much fun.
If you need Legend books recommendations, just let me know. I'll hook you up.
I know. That you're the first person I will definitely go to for that.
So next question, Crispy Bacon. What would you think about Qui-Gon, Jinn, and Yoda being a regular part of the Kenobi series?
Oh my god!
So I'm all for it.
But you just was it just like Qui-Gon Jinn, or was there any other names?
And Yoda.
And Yoda.
Qui-Gon and Yoda.
I can see it happening.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be
not major role.
I mean, Kenobi and Yoda really were like a duo at the end of Revenge of the Sith, but I really don't know their relationship beyond that. Obviously Qui-Gon, they have a really good connection. So they definitely will, and Liam Neeson wants to come back so bad. As I've heard him like in interviews, like, "Oh, I would do it." No, I just never get a phone call. Like all he needs is someone to say, "Hey, we got a Qui-Gon Jinn role for you," because the man doesn't age. He still looks like he did years ago. So I think it'd be great. And in the Legends book, Kenobi, he doesn't realize that Vader is Anakin for a while, and then he has like a lot of like traumatic experience from that, and then Qui-Gon in the books comes through with Force Ghost, because it stems from Revenge of the Sith when he says, "I have training for you, Master Qui-Gon." So it'd be really cool for them to show that the inner workings of the Force. But yeah, everybody knows me. I'm always down for more Yoda content. So yeah, throw him in there too. I'd love it.
I think that Yoda would have a role because he literally says training for you I have on Tatooine. So I would believe that we would get a little glimpse of that. Not only that, I will say about Qui-Gon, the only way I would see Liam Neeson actually appearing would be in flashbacks. And the only reason I say that is because, remember, his training was incomplete. Well, he wasn't a Force Ghost. Only his voice itself. And the only reason why we saw it in the Clone Wars, we saw his Force Ghost, was because it was on Mortis, and Mortis was very strong with the Force, and that was the only way Anakin was able to see Qui-Gon. And if you don't, you definitely probably know this, but there is a deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith where Qui-Gon actually reaches out to Yoda. And you hear Liam Neeson's voice. His voice is actually casted within it, and like it was just a deleted scene. Like it literally was seconds before he had the meeting with Obi-Wan. It's like training for you I have on Tatooine. It was like literally seconds before. It was an amazing deleted scene. There was a lot of deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith. That was one being one of them.
I think secretly, deep down, everybody's like, secret favorite character is Qui-Gon Jinn. He's so epic, man. If you watch Duel of Fates when they're on the catwalk right beside those energy towers, those energy beams, and you slow it down. That is some of the best action sequences in slow mo you'll ever see. It's amazing, man. Qui-Gon Jinn is like and he's not even a Jedi Guardian. He's more of a Force guy, and yet he goes toe to toe with like a Sith warrior one on one because Kenobi gets knocked out of the fight for a little bit.
Yeah.
I just think he's epic, man. And Venomous did a Clone Wars armor Qui-Gon had if he had survived and fought in the Clone Wars.
Jeez.
And I just I try to picture that in my head, like a Qui-Gon Jinn out on the battlefield, man. He's just.
There's a mod. There's literally a mod. I can see if I can pull it up. There's literally a mod that you can download of Qui-Gon replacing Obi-Wan and he has a general skin. Like he actually has a general skin. It's absolutely stunning.
Manny asks, do you think Ahsoka will show up in the Kenobi show? I think if she does, I don't think she will, but if she does, it's for her to have a heart-to-heart with Kenobi. And I would imagine Kenobi would try to see he would. I think Kenobi, if Ahsoka appeared, he would take it upon himself, like, hey, I can restore the Jedi Order, like, and then Ahsoka's going to tell him, no, like that path is gone for us. Your path is now to protect Luke, and then Ahsoka will go on to finish her mission to locate Ezra. But I think Kenobi would try, because like we all know, Kenobi's probably the most Jedi of Jedis out there. So if someone like Ahsoka presented herself to him, he would think that he could still save the galaxy.
Yeah,
because he's still young. I mean, he's still gonna be a warrior at that time period. In the Kenobi series, he's gonna be somewhat young. He could still fight in a war if he needed to.
Absolutely. And I will say this to bank off what you said, though. I mean, this is just going back to the last question. Sorry, we're all over the place. But what you did say, you were like, according to legends, you were like, Ahsoka wouldn't. Wait, no, what did you say? You said that Obi-Wan didn't know Anakin was Vader. I feel like if Obi-Wan and Yoda communicated, obviously we know a lot of things were kept secret in Star Wars in general, like, Ahsoka could have told Yoda in season 7 of Siege of Mandalore, like, hey, by the way, Maul had this theory that Anakin's like a Sith Lord, like whatever, you know what I mean? Or it's going to be like a, turning under the dark side, whatever. That could have been prevented. But I will say this, that Yoda knew that Anakin was Darth Vader, because he says in Revenge of the Sith, I was like, oh, consumed he was by Darth Vader. So if Obi-Wan and Yoda do communicate, I feel like that would be definitely a conversation that's brought up, like, hey, by the way, like, your apprentice, like, he's out here, like, he's a Dark Lord of the Sith, so like, watch out. His mechanic voice,
Because I wonder, man, it's like there's so many like little things like we just don't know. Like, does Kenobi go back to Polis Massa and say, "Yeah, I killed Anakin," and like how like you're not lying, but you're lying. You're like, "Yeah, I killed Anakin." Like the deed is done. So I wonder if Yoda thinks for a little bit from a certain point of view, Anakin's dead, and then when Darth Vader comes back, he's like, "Man, now I got to tell Yoda." That I actually didn't kill him. I left him there on the lava, thinking he was gonna die, and I don't know how he survived that. And that's a good dude. That'd be a good conversation, because Yoda would obviously he wouldn't get mad, but he would punk Kenobi in a way that Kenobi would be like, man.
Well, they have a good relationship. They always did. So that's really cool. So I will share the screen with you real quick just while we're in the Qui-Gon subject. It's quality's like a little iffy right now, just because it's like zoomed in, but you kind of get the point. You get the point. That's Qui-Gon with a general skin. That would have been Qui-Gon in the Clone Wars. So that's actually a mod you can download, and it replaces Obi-Wan, as you can see, his physique, his pose, his armor, with all Obi-Wan. But then also at the same time, remember that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan had similar colored Jedi robes. Anakin was the only one with darker robes and that's actually another subject to talk about. A good question for another time. But Anakin actually, all the other Jedi members kind of like saw Anakin was like kind of like off, like kind of unusual, and like they always saw it as a bad sign that his robes were darker. He wanted his robes to be darker than the rest of the Jedi. Other Jedi robes were more white and brown. His was more of like a red velvet type of darker brown. So that's actually really cool, and it kind of hinted at his turn. You know what I mean? So kind of a little cool, fun fact.
Sam asked, do you think if Qui-Gon has survived, Anakin would have never become Vader? Him training was kind of fueled from hate from the start, since Obi-Wan trained him due to Qui-Gon dying. I do remember We'll
talk about this
definitely
all
answer
the
this
time.
question. Yeah, we've talked about this like a few episodes ago. Obi-Wan never cared for Anakin. He's just like another useless life form.
Yeah, no, it was like a brother figure, but it's different than a father figure. Like, okay, like let's be honest here. This is going to be the worst parallel ever, but whatever. I consider you a brother to me. This is like an Anakin Obi-Wan type of relationship. But like, if I was, God, this is so bad. But like, obviously, I don't consider you like in real life. You might be older than me, but I don't consider you like a father figure.
Right.
A father figure is someone that I consider a lot older than me, probably double my age, probably someone that I can look up to, walk in every footsteps of them. And Qui-Gon's mentality towards the living force and just the Jedi Order, that's why he's never on the Jedi Council. He didn't care about being on the Jedi Council. He's like, I don't need to be on the Jedi Council. I do my own thing. Like, you know, and it's like he was the definition for me of a perfect Jedi. And the fact that he would be training Anakin, the fact that he saw potential in him the second they met. Like his midichlorian count is out the roof. And not only that, he wanted to train him. He wanted to take him on initiative to train him on his own. Yeah, he would have never turned. He would have never turned.
This is a really awesome topic, man. I'm having a lot of fun here. So yeah, Qui-Gon. So yeah, we're all in the group that Qui-Gon is. So Miller says, I believe that Qui-Gon is the ultimate example of what the Jedi Order should have been. Exactly what you just said. So yeah, maybe he's the remnant of what the High Republic was offering.
Literally.
He's the last ones. And then of course Yoda is part of that. And Qui-Gon and Yoda, I think Qui-Gon always like butted heads, I feel like, with the Jedi Council. But when, of course, these are Legends books, but in like Dark Rendezvous and the early books, like Qui-Gon and Yoda, they had their differences, but they still got along. They're very friendly with each other. So I wonder if the death of Qui-Gon somehow affected Yoda into, being blinded by all this, and then
possibly could be.
This is good stuff because Yoda, to me, is what you guys just said. I think Yoda still is what the Jedi Order should be, but no one would really like join in on him because Yoda was full detached from attachment. He had nothing, right? And he's incorruptible, right? He does have his. There was that one episode where he had that little bit of dark experience, but then he got out of it. Yeah. But I still think Yoda is what we all would look to be a Jedi, and Qui-Gon would be second. And maybe without Qui-Gon, Yoda just got blinded and had that clouded judgment. And then, of course, I'm the first to say it. Yoda is the main reason why the Jedi Order failed.
He could have been the one. Qui-Gon could have been the one that talked sense into him. We just don't know those behind the scenes talks they ever had. But you're right on butting heads because they definitely did butt heads on whether Anakin or not should be trained or not. But gosh, it's just so crazy. And it's really funny, like, because this is typical Star Wars. This actually is Star Wars for you. The complete circle. A boy who lost what could have been a father figure to him, lost the only thing possible that could have been a father figure. He had no father growing up. Had something for a short period of time that was a father figure, lost that, and then mirrored that years later to then become the father figure towards someone else, towards Luke, and actually succeeding at being the father, and see where things went wrong, the failure, and do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to get at? Like it's like a full circle.
Yeah, the circle is complete.
It makes being the father that he never had. That's Darth Vader. That's the story of Anakin Skywalker at the end. That's the fall of Darth Vader.
He lost his father figure. Qui-Gon, his potential father figure, he lost, and at the end, he's seen that, and at the very last minute of his life, he could be that father and say
he never had. Exactly, and it ties in perfectly with one another, and that's the story of Star Wars.
I always wonder if Star Wars is just so good that that just happens to like fold out and be the parallel or the circle, or if they purposely write that stuff, man. And of course, the writers are good. But, man, they consistently nail stuff like that, the parallels and everything. And, that's why I think that this Din and Grogu parallel will eventually be just as heartbreaking in the long run. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
No, it's literally like history repeats itself in Star Wars all the time, whether it's little things like a Darth Vader hallway scene reciprocating into Maul's hallway scene in Clone Wars, reciprocating again to Luke's kind of hallway scene in The Mandalorian. Everything, history repeats itself all the time in Star Wars. It's definitely going to be something similar along the fact of Luke and Vader, you know? So do you think Qui-Gon could have survived Order 66 if he was alive? Oh
I think he'd be one of those that wouldn't trust the clones. I don't think he would have trusted them at all. Who's what's his name? Ram Koda from Force Unleashed. He would have been that type of guy. I feel like I don't think he would have trusted the clones too much. He would have been very distant from them.
Well, we don't see those possibly, but we don't ever see his relationship with clones in general. We see Anakin's tight relationship with the clones, Yoda's. We actually we watched the first 4 episodes of Clone Wars tonight in our watch party, and Yoda speaking about how each and every one of clones, they look the same, but they're not the same. And that episode was so powerful to me. And the following episode with Plo Koon saying, "Oh, the clones are like, we're just clones, so we're meant to be expendable," and he says, "Not to me." And I kept saying in the watch party, I'm like, these scenes right here, these first 4 episodes are actually so powerful, and it really kicks off the basis of what the entire next 7 seasons are about. So we don't see his relationship with the clones, but it would have been interesting to see. So that's a difficult question. I don't think he would have formed attachment to the clones, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's always like a very Who knows with Qui-Gon Jinn, man? He could have either been very good friends with them or have some like distaste for him. But Qui-Gon is one that has a very short story as far as the movie goes, but honestly, as we can tell, he's one that can be explored quite a bit, and like almost like a philosophical type talk. Yeah. Here's just a quick one. H2. Do you think Tusken Raiders will show up again in the upcoming series? I think they will always put Jawas and Tusken Raiders in any type of standpoint that they could get.
That's like go-to.
Yeah, the design for the Tusken Raiders, man, are amazing. I think they're my favorite indigenous species design of anything in Star Wars.
I'm about to blow your mind. Give me 1 second. I want to pull something up for you. But now that we're getting actually character with them too is really cool. In Mandalorian, we got a lot of character for them. They actually humanized them in the Mandalorian, which has never been done before. So that was really cool.
To see they could do it in the High Republic, but there was a Jedi Tusken Raider at one point in one of the Legends stories, so that'd be cool to explore.
Yeah, I know in the High Republic there's also the Wookiee Jedi, which is really cool. There's a bunch that's really cool. The cross.
I'm very interested to see, because he has to have a walking translator, for you to be able to understand. So, wherever a Wookiee goes, you can't have a story unless there's a translator. So, yeah. Miller says, how do you want to see Thrawn used in live action? What will his role be, and what will be his purpose?
Wait, I just want to show you that real quick.
Oh, okay.
Just to blow your mind real quick.
There we go. So, hey, Sue, if you want that on stream, we'll get that on stream. So we're looking at
I don't think it's ready yet, but it definitely looks like arcade mode. I don't think it's ready yet, but I don't even know who it would replace. It looks like it could replace Finn. That'd be awesome. You got a little buff. Imagine Finn glitching. People that Finn glitch with the Tusken Raider and the voice lines. I'm not even gonna try to do it. Yeah. You were thinking about it, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, that's not happening. Nope. But yeah, that looks kind of cool though. That would be awesome. But what was okay? So
I'll read it one more. Yeah. So how do you want to see Thrawn used in live action? What will his role be, and what will be his purpose?
I do want to see him in live action. I think we'll see him in the Ahsoka show. And I don't think he will. I don't think. That's a difficult question. I think it'll have a very large role, but from a distance. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'll be Ahsoka's show, and he will be the main villain, similar to how Moff Gideon is technically the main villain in The Mandalorian. I think it'll be something similar to that. It'll just be like a similar concept along those lines. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
the search for Ezra and the search for Thrawn that I think will tie in. But
yeah, the Ezra story. I think Ezra's quickly becoming. Every time someone watches the rebels, which still a lot of people, they'll come to me and be like, man, that Ezra, what happened to him? What happened? Do you know what happened to him? I'm like, man, I don't know what happened. Like, people who were so into the stories don't even know what Ezra is. And I think it's almost to a point where if you take the Yodas, the Kenobis, the Skywalkers away, and then you look at these new characters, I think Ezra is in the tier. Like, you have Grogu up here. This is Ezra. He's coming close. So Ezra's their next gold mine. And if you can build all this suspense for an Ezra Bridger, because I personally, with that theory I had, if Grogu doesn't get taken from the temple by Ben and taken to Snoke, the only other thing that I see is that he's off planet with his master, Ezra Bridger, and they're training somewhere. And then Ezra and Grogu come back to the temple, and they're like, what is going on? But then they have to explain, why didn't they just go and fight against the Sith Eternal, But, maybe they're doing their own thing. I don't know. But, yeah, Ezra's their next big cash cow. And so I think with Thrawn, no, the question's about Thrawn, but that's what I want Thrawn to be about, is locating Ezra.
And I'm about to jump on that right now. And there is no doubt in my mind, Star Wars fans know things. We as Star Wars fans are nerds. We break down every single detail. We break down every single thing. And there's no doubt in my head, and no one's going to change my mind about this, that Raul Coley will be playing as Ezra. And that, if you share the screen, that's exactly why. There's no doubt in my head that he will be playing. This guy literally is on Instagram wearing his Lucasfilm shirt all the time. And he would be amazing for the character. Not only that, he did stream Battlefront 2 like 2 weeks ago. He just put 2 and 2 together. I believe that he will be playing as Ezra, and there's no doubt in my head. No one can change my mind about it. Like, I'm so strict on that right now.
Yeah, man, and that's cool, because that means he's either is gonna film, or something. I kind of want Ezra to come a little bit later. I'm talking so Ahsoka films. When does Ahsoka film? Do we know yet?
2022, I believe.
So
2022 will be the biggest year for Star Wars ever, by the way.
So I would like Ezra in 2023, 2024. Stemming from, maybe we get him in the last episode. And here's something that I saw. I can't remember. Sorry, I saw this posted. What if Ezra is no longer a warrior of the light? What if he is a dark? Because that explains
that little to
get Ahsoka has to have her conclusion. Ezra has to have his conclusion, or they have to describe why they're not in the sequels, which is a big thing. When they wrote the sequels, I know they didn't intend for all this to happen and make this cinematic universe in this time period. But and Grogu, so they need to bring in some really good writers, something that they have to really start looking into what lore is already there and how they're going to get this out there.
Well, definitely. I mean, you also have to finish Sabine's as well. What would be really interesting? To bank off what you just said, to jump off of that, what if you remember that little scene that we saw in Rebels where Ezra basically tapped into his dark side? Actually that concluded season 3, I think.
Yeah.
It concluded the season, or concluded season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Where he tapped into the dark side. What if he does end up getting stuck with Thrawn? And what if Thrawn actually trains him as like a type of apprentice type of thing? And because we don't know how much time is going to be going in between. It's about the search for Ezra began before A New Hope. We see Ahsoka and Sabine team up during the end of Rebels, which is after Return of the Jedi, which Mandalorian technically does take place before right after Return of the Jedi, before that ending. So it's such a messy timeline right now.
Her in the gray robes and her asking where Thrawn is the biggest clue for me that she is not Ahsoka the White yet, and she has not located Ezra.
No, exactly, yeah.
We're going to talk about World Between Worlds in this thing, but we definitely don't have enough time to get into that one. But the one thing that sticks out from World Between Worlds is the last line that he says. He says, he's like, come and find me. When you get out of here, come and find me is what. And so her number one mission is to find Ezra. And man, that'd be really cool. Because
Plot twist.
what that's the biggest, I think that is the biggest question. If I could break into Skywalker Ranch and get these codes to the Death Star, it's going to be to hack. What are you going to do with that in Ahsoka? That's really all I care about right now. Everybody's like, you want Revan, you want Revan. At this point, man, I want these answers first. Like, I think all these answers need to be first before we get any type of Old Republic content.
Yeah, for sure.
I want all the timeline from episode 1, The Phantom Menace, all the way up through the sequels to just be complete, and then we just started getting new content. I think that's where we're at.
Absolutely. And we are living in something where content will not be an issue for us over the next 5 to 10 years. So, and it starts this year. This is the year where it starts in 10 months, in 11 months from now. I will see you for the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett in 11 months from now.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't know, we're just hitting these podcasts with no notes. We just want to see, we want to kind of test our podcasting skills and our free form talk. And because of the content that we have coming out, we've literally, I look at the clock, we're at 52 minutes and 20 seconds. And it feels like we've been talking for 10 minutes. So that's a testament to like how much content we have coming out. Next
week we will be doing something special with a very special guest, so that would be awesome as well.
Yeah. So the next, we have 2 guests planned. We don't know which days they're going to be, but expect guests, and then we'll roll it. We got some plans. In Boba's show, will they talk or show his past with the Star? Like, I think it's a must.
Flashbacks. Yeah. It's just you know what's crazy? You know who I think we'll see, which is a stretch. What if we saw a Bosk in this Book of Boba Fett? You know, like bring Fennec into this bounty hunters kind of. I don't know, like
And they love putting Bosk in everything, you know. So I would not be surprised if we get a Bosk in there.
I think we'll get flashbacks. I think we'll get flashbacks for sure. Just again, I keep seeing Boba as the same character, similar storyline as Maul, that had to go through it. Was casted aside, was abandoned, and now is starting his journey on his own by himself, and really just trying to get revenge. Maul, the one thing, if there's one word to describe Maul, it would be revenge. That's all he seeks from the Phantom Menace against the Jedi, just in general. At last, we'll reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we'll have revenge.
Yeah.
To the entire Clone Wars, to Rebels, it's just revenge. That's what he's based off. And I think Boba is more of a similar revenge type of justice thing, you know? So it's kind of cool. Like, it's just kind of cool to see like how like similar these stories are intertwining, you know. But hey, that's just me.
Red Raider says, "Is the Mandalorian staging around episode 6 to 7? It's 9 years after the Battle of Yavin. Is right around the time Mandalorian starts, and then Ahsoka should be in that time period too, like really, really close.
5 years after Return of the Jedi, though. Yeah, 5 years after the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, so that's."
I'm looking for more questions. If there's anybody in the chat that wants a question answered, just let us know.
And then from 6 to 7 is a 30 year span.
Here's a what if question. H2 asked, what would happen if Obi-Wan went to get Palpatine and turned over like Anakin? So I'm assuming that he's asking the question if Yoda went to fight Anakin and Palpatine and Obi-Wan faced off. I think you just have Palpatine and Yoda at the end. That's what you have. I think Yoda would beat.
Yeah, literally. There would be no Darth Vader.
There'd be no Darth Vader. Yoda would have finished the job, and then eventually Yoda would have to fight Palpatine. And I don't know. I think Yoda just. We had a really big talk. Like everybody knows, I already said Yoda's my favorite character, but I critique him more than anybody. Yoda went in that overconfident and did not prepare.
Oh yeah.
If you give Yoda a solid game plan, and he's like, okay, he's going to use Force Lightning, he's going to do this. I know his moves. I think he beats Palpatine pretty, not easily. He's going to have to work for it, but he beats him. Yeah. But he went in overconfident and he lost because of it. Kenobi is a true Jedi warrior, but he's not the perfect Force user. And Palpatine will use so much Force powers And I know it because it's a movie, they can't really do it too well. But in the books and everything, like Sidious is so fast with his lightsaber attacks, his force scream, his ability to maneuver. I think he would uh, outmaneuver Kenobi fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It would, yeah. No, well, definitely the only reason Anakin has survived technically is because, I mean, Yoda wouldn't have shown mercy towards him. Obi-Wan actually had a relationship with him, you know?
Yeah.
Yoda did not have any relationship with Anakin. But yeah, like, no, I agree with you 100%. It would just be Yoda and Palpatine in the end. Whether we know what would happen with the Empire and stuff like that, would they have been as strong without a Darth Vader in place? He would have probably had another apprentice. But then you have to also consider it like this: Palpatine's plan was set perfectly because Palpatine, and I've read this before, and I don't know how 100% true it is, but he was able to basically foresee the future in a lot of ways. So if he had any doubt that Yoda would be sent against Anakin wouldn't have been his apprentice. This was all foreseen. This was all, he literally says, I have foreseen. It's like everything is plot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you think about it, and I don't know if you've read this is actually the coolest thing ever. They talk about like Darth Vader. They say Darth Vader is the mix of all three apprentices Sidious had. Grievous with the robotics. There was others, like it was Dooku and Maul, but like Vader's a combination of the three of them, basically, is what I read. And it's actually like a really, really cool thing. But yeah, no, it would have been definitely Yoda and Palpatine in the end.
Yeah, Yoda. The all paths lead to Yoda and Palpatine. Like I say, Yoda was just too overconfident, and Obi-Wan couldn't finish what needed to be done because they were family. Yeah. So, which I think we all would relate if we could actually put ourselves in that position. It would be like just try to think about that, man. You're in the fight for your life. You're exhausted. It's hot there. Like that's another thing. Like you can't really get from a movie. Yeah. I've been near like house fires and stuff, and I'm talking. So picture a street of like 10 houses. If you're walking up to a house fire, you can feel it 5 houses away. So now picture that with lava. So now you're fighting on that. It's hot there. You're stressed. You're the most stressed you've ever been in your life. Your muscles are fatigued. You're fighting your friend, and you just finished the fight. Like talk about emotional overload. Like I think we all leave Anakin there, man. Even if he's suffering, it'd be your darkest day of your life. You wouldn't be able to. He's seeing that sight the whole way back to Polis Massa, and then through his sleep and everything. So that's what makes Kenobi so good, is because we get to experience what that's going to do to his psyche. We get Ben Kenobi in New Hope, but I think he's playing Luke Skywalker. He's not showing him any type of emotion, because now he sees Luke Skywalker. He's like, man, this is my best friend's son. There's a lot of emotion that he's hiding from Luke that we will get to see in the Kenobi series, which I'm excited for.
There was one question that I saw. What are we going to do about the droid attack on the Wookiees? I mean, me personally, it's a system we can't afford to lose.
Yeah. Who has a good relationship with the Wookiees? We'll send that guy.
Yeah. Oh, you know that guy.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I've answered all the questions that have been brought to my attention. So,
what if Padme died before Anakin turned to Sith and talked to Palpatine?
What if Padme died before Anakin turned to Sith and talked to Palpatine? I think anytime that Padme dies, it extends Anakin's hatred for the Jedi, not allowing him to be the Rika Master to get into the archive. So we still have a problem there. He might not become Palpatine's apprentice, but he becomes a very big problem. And maybe he becomes an Ahsoka type character and leaves the Order. But then who knows? Maybe he just becomes a gray Jedi and has hatred towards the Jedi. Yeah. But it's a big problem. The whole point of when you're looking at Revenge of the Sith, he doesn't care to be master. He does not care to be master at all. It's not that he's cocky or anything. He just wants access to the archives to figure out how to save Padme, and they're not giving it to him. So if Padme dies at any point before he's the rank of master to get into the archives, he's going to hate the Jedi, whether that be Kenobi or anything. And there's something else I was about to say. If he would just trusted Kenobi enough, I forgot where I seen this. Like Kenobi always knew that there was something there between Padme, and he always
he hinted at it in season 7. Remember in episode 1 of season 7, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I hope you told Padme I said hello." Like he knew he knew what was up. That was actually one of the most clever scenes, and the memes that were made out of that was hilarious. And you can even see Rex's face in the back, like,
yeah, what?
That was awesome.
And that's similar from what I just said with Kenobi. Now he has to think, well, what if I just brought it up in a private conversation, like, what's going on with you and Padme? What can I do to help you? Because I fell in love with a Mandalorian before, and look how that worked out for me.
It's actually crazy that you say that, because I actually think that while they were brothers, their trust with one another was shaken. Obi-Wan and Anakin. I know you remember that scene, that arc in the Clone Wars where Obi-Wan had the disguise. He used the disguise. Remember that? I forgot the name. He was disguised as a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Remember that whole arc? And remember how upset Anakin was? The fact that he thought his master was dead and he was dreading it. And then Obi-Wan just says, like, 10 seconds later, "Oh yeah, by the way, like, I was alive this whole time. It was just a disguise." Anakin was fuming. And that's when really trust started to be lost. And you saw within the Clone Wars, you saw these little hints. You saw these little hints of Anakin's turn. But it all added up and it all made sense towards the end. One of my actually favorite scenes was in season 7 in the Bad Batch arc, the last episode of the Bad Batch arc, which was episode 4. What was his name? Admiral Trench. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're a Jedi. You're not gonna kill me." He's like, "Oh no, trust me, I'm not like the rest of them." And he just he just slices his arms up. He's like, "Now tell me, where's the detonation? Like, where is it?" And like, you just see these little hints towards the turn. And you could definitely see that Obi-Wan and Anakin's Reiko Hardeen. Yeah, that was his name. That was the name of the bounty hunter that Obi-Wan impersonated. And that really shook their trust. So that's really cool. Like, it was really interesting.
That really comes to a conclusion when Kenobi is talking to Skywalker on the outside of the temple, and he asks him to spy on Palpatine. He's like, "Well, we're brothers, man, but we're done here." Like, I think that was really
their trust was already shaken, and that would have been something that wouldn't have been the case. That goes back to the last question, one of the first questions with Qui-Gon. That wouldn't have been the case with Qui-Gon. You know what I mean? Father figure, you tell your father, like someone you look up to, like practically everything, something you can relate to. And it would, I don't know, it would just be a little different. So.
I think we'll do one more question and then we'll wrap it up. We're already over an hour. What would be the best way to use Sabine Wren in live action?
For me, the Ahsoka show, 110% the Ahsoka show. That would be the best way to introduce her. They showed no hesitation. Actually, it's actually funny because these characters were rumored. Ahsoka and Bo and Mando, 2 of these specifically. There was a little bit of anticipation for Ahsoka, but as soon as the episode started, we saw her sabers right away. Same thing with Bo. They just came out of nowhere and just saved Mando. You saw her helmet literally 2 seconds into her flying down. I think the best approach would be Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series. I think it would make perfect sense. You and I spoke about this. I think Mandalorian takes place right before the ending of Rebels, the very, very end, during that little split screen and this split scene. And I think that Sabine and Ahsoka have a common goal. Sabine needs Ezra. Ahsoka needs Thrawn. They're in the same location, and then I think they see part of their journey within the Ahsoka series. So I think that's what it's going to be.
I think Sabine will be introducing Ahsoka officially, and then she'll have that same route. And I think she will help all the way up to get Ezra. Then Ahsoka and Ezra go do their own thing, and then Sabine will then head back to be a part of the Leader of Mandalore arc that is going on the other side of these new series, because we still Din and Bo are not going to be the only ones vying for this position. I think Sabine can definitely put her name in the pot because she's seen how she still has ties to her Mandalorian people through and through. Like she wants to help Ezra. That's her brother. And once that mission is complete and Ezra's safe, I think she'll start looking back to Mandalore and head back there. So she'll be through the Ahsoka show, I think, and then she'll head over to compliment the Mandalorian and what's going on over there.
It's going to be amazing. But I think that's how we can take that. That's how I believe they can take that approach with her. And it would be great. Yeah.
I'm really curious to see who they cast for. Some people think that she's undercover on Moff Gideon's ship, that girl that has all the lines on Moff Gideon's ship. Because apparently she's a trained martial artist already, so it would make sense. It'd be cool. I mean, I can see it. I can see Sabine in her. You know, you dye her hair after she gets out of undercover, and that's Sabine right there. Let's see. At this point, would you guys rather see the next content move forward? And at this point, would you guys rather see the next content move forward in the timeline or go back like it has been? Yeah. So I want to see everything complete. Episode 1 through episode 9, have the whole timeline done. You continue to do the books on the High Republic, and then once all that timeline's done, then you can stem to post Rise of Skywalker era with Grogu, or you can jump back in the timeline and hit Darth Bane up.
I'm impatient though. Like I'm a little kid. I'm impatient for post Rise of Skywalker content though. I want to see what happens right after Rise of Skywalker. I want to see Jedi Finn. I want to see everything. I want more. I love the actress of Rey. I thought she portrayed Rey perfectly. I would love to see a World of Worlds combination with Ben Solo. I don't know. These are just wild theories for me, but I believe. Yeah, let's touch on those up until episode 9 first. But I would love to see post Rise of Skywalker content any day.
Yellow saber Rey with a green saber Grogu in action would be pretty sweet, man. Absolutely. And I'd love to see them combat whatever villains out there, whatever they can come up with.
We got a little glimpse of what post Rise of Skywalker would have been in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. So they're clearly not afraid to go down that route.
Yeah, he's good. Good. So much. Dude, we're good with Star Wars content for the next 20 years, and I love it. Grandmaster Rey, we'll see. I'm still on board with Ahsoka until they come with a conclusion, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So tomorrow you have a very big day. We touched on at the beginning of the podcast. You have a 12-hour charity stream, food for kids. What is the charity called again?
Oh my God, sorry, there was something. Hunger for Kids.
If you want to bring up your little banner, we can throw that up there real quick. But yeah, it's for a very good cause.
Yeah, this is Don't Get Hungry is the name of the charity, but it is towards here. I'll show that up right now. It is towards Hunger for Kids. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, and this will be from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time. It's actually I'll
definitely be in there moderating quite a bit. I'm not streaming tomorrow. My next stream is going to be on Monday at normal time, 3:30 p.m. Central. And here's his banner.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to be giving a lot of stuff out. So it'll be awesome. I can't wait. The giveaways, I'm always excited for the giveaways. It'll be a giveaway once every hour to hour and a half. It'll be 9 total giveaways. We're going to do actually 2 of these. And I'm actually going to try and throw in one High Republic book as well from
Nice.
The new book.
Do you know what games you're playing besides Battlefront?
Battlefront 2 for sure. I was leaning towards some squadrons. It's more of a thing that let's just see how the day goes. I'm probably going to end up doing is probably start on PC, switch into some Xbox, probably switch back into some PC a little bit. I will say this: we will probably be playing with Battlefront 2 majority of the day. If we do switch to a game, though, it'll be squadrons for just a little bit, just for custom lobbies. Yeah. Only for custom lobbies. We do some custom lobby games, and I'm actually going to update the game as a matter of fact as soon as we sign off here. And yeah, that'll be it from. Oh, and we are going to do a segment midway through. We're going to do or towards the end, we're going to do a Kahoot segment. Although we did this last time, it was really fun. It's just a Kahoot segment of a trivia. So we're going to do a little trivia. With a bunch of cool. Some of these will be included with prizes with Fulcrum points, which is our channel points. So a little cool stuff. So I'm excited.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm excited for you. I'll be there. I'm sure everybody in this chat's going to be there at least at some point tomorrow. And let's just support, throw the hosts up, do what we can. Like I said, I'll see you guys again Monday, and we'll be back next Saturday. We're going to try to iron out these details for the guests and announce it Monday for sure. And then we're going to promote all week.
Yeah.
And hope you guys like it. If you have any feedback for Inside the Holocron, DM me on Discord and we'll make it better. Appreciate you guys. Peace.